All right. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Got the doggos doing stuff. Shop inspector. All right, so we're going to do, because everyone loved the other video of 5 things I hate about my Caterpillar 305.5 E2. Let's do a quick walk around on the machine here. I do love this machine, but of course, as with everything, there are things that I do hate. So, and I'll share those with you today, and other little upgrades and little things I've done that I may have shown you or may not have. All right, so let's start with number 1. The first and biggest thing I hate about this machine is in-cab storage. And I'll show you what I mean. So, pardon the mess. In-cab storage. If you can see, there isn't so much storage. There might be enough for a paper towel roll right there between the seats. And there's nothing really available here, and in the back of the seat. I mean, I have a grease gun. I don't know if you guys can see that, or whatever I have back there. We have a little 12-volt outlet, a little cup holder with some garbage in it right now, and then a little joking little thing there. I don't know what that is. So, there's a serious lack of in-cab storage. I mean, you can't even put a lunch bag or anything in here, unless you want to have it crushed behind the seat. So, that is number 1. No in-cab storage, which, it sucks. Working all day and not having a place to put your lunch. All right, the second thing on this particular machine that I hate is the drain valve. It is a Fumoto style drain valve. I don't know if I can show it to you guys easily. But the drain valve is down there. I don't know if you guys can see it. But yeah, it's a Fumoto style valve, which you need to flip the lever over and lift it up at the same time. And it drains super slow. Even when the engine's hot, it doesn't really make a difference. Really doesn't make a difference. So, that's number 2 thing I hate. And since we're in this general vicinity of the equipment, engine compartment space. Number 3, room to work in the engine compartment. I mean, there is practically zero room. You got the counterweight right down there. And you need to take off that oil filter. And the other thing you need to do is remove this windshield washer tank with those 3 bolts. So once you have those 3 bolts undone, you can kind of hang it out of the way, what have you, and do all that kind of stuff. So the other thing I had to do on this was adjust the valves. So that's after 1,000 hours. They recommend you adjust the valves, and you have to take out the the crank sensor on the flywheel housing there, and then it has the indicators for, you know, what position you're at. And if you guys take a close look in there is practically zero room to work. So I had to move this whole wiring harness, get everything loose and unplugged, and move it over to the right side, and just, you know, kind of jam it over. Also, the other thing, if you look at the return hoses on the injectors, they're not engine colored. I ended up breaking off a plastic return nipple on one of the sides. It's actually on number 2 cylinder. It's kind of hard to see. So this is an electronic injection engine. So unlike the older style with the mechanical injection. So that's kind of a downside, but what have you. So when I did the valves, I don't know if you guys can see back in there, but I put aluminum fiber, like a mat, aluminum topped, underneath is fiberglass or insulation, specifically designed for exhaust manifolds, and that'll bring me to my next point. But as you can also see, I put some exhaust wrap here and all that stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to put a picture in the video, but hopefully I'll be able to show you guys. So that brings me to my number 4. This engine compartment was number 3. Number 4 is the exhaust manifold, which is on the other side of the engine, is directly under your butt. I mean, under the seat. You know, you take the seat out inside there, and there it is. So, as you guys can't see, I did wrap that manifold as well. So just to keep the heat from, you know, radiating and all that stuff. So That's kind of unfortunate because that makes, you know, the interior compartment very hot. So that sucks. All right, so that was number 4, exhaust manifold directly under the seat. Next one, number 5, last one, is the boom lift doesn't go as high as you want. I mean, I understand why, but when this boom, which is not right now, but when this boom is straight up and down, that's the limit. It can't go back like the bigger machines. It's due to the location of the boom right in front of the operator glass there. So it goes up straight, doesn't barely go back any, and it's also due to the way this side shift is designed. I mean, the side shift is great if you're digging along buildings and, you know, in awkward places where you got to actually rotate the boom and stick rather than the actual, you know, house or whatever you want to call it, the cab. So that limits the up ability on these booms. So you can't reach as high as you want to, unlike you know, the Cat 310 and, you know, bigger machines. All right, so the 5 things. Yeah, I think that concluded. So 5 things. Now, for the 5 things I love. So this Cat 305.5 E2 CR is, well, compact radius, is kind of old. It's 2018, so it's, you know, been around the block a couple times. But it has amazing power for its size. I mean, along with the hydraulics, the engine power. I've never bogged this thing once, ever. It's ridiculous. So I mean, I pull out just huge rocks, and, you know, my friends in the business can attest to that, and, you know, confirm that most machines of this size, but this one in particular, I have found really has good power for its size. It's unbelievable. So the second thing I love about this machine is the power of the thumb. So when I grab rock or anything like that between the bucket and the thumb, I really can really push down. And I've heard other operators say, you know, they can push the thumb back when they curl the bucket and, you know, overpower the thumb. This one, not so. I can crush rock between the thumb and the bucket, which is, you know, ridiculous, even for this size machine. So that's incredible. Okay, the third thing that I love about this machine is the ease of tying it down. Caterpillar really makes it nice to tie things down. So on this machine, they have front blade loopholes for your chain, which I use. And then on the track frame, they have a front loop, which I don't use. But then they also have a back loop, which I use. So the front blade and the rear tie down points on the track frame are the ones that I use. Makes it, oh, goodness gracious. Chickens, calm down, please. Farm life. So yeah, it makes it super easy on the track frame and on the front blade for tying it down. The other thing is visibility. I do love the visibility out of this machine. So, I mean, you can really see easily out of here. Easily out of the front, out of the, you know, the top I did cloud over because the sun was actually, you know, blinding me in the early morning. So I actually did cloud this glass up here just to provide a little bit of, you know, unsquintiness. So, but out of the right side of the machine, you can clearly see, God, really good visibility. Really good. Out of the back, you just turn around and you can, sorry for the engine compartment open, but yeah, you can practically see, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, you can see the back of the tracks. So you really know what you're backing into. Out of the left side, I mean, geez, you can see all the way down to the ground. You can see the tracks as well. I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, so the door here, you can see the track. You can see all corners of the machine. It is super, super nice. So out of the right window, you can see the right corner. Front window, you can see pretty much the whole blade. You can see both corners. And out of the left side, you can see everything. So this machine, I know it's an older machine, not the next gen, but this one really has good visibility. Let's see here. This machine has, let's see, up, down in here. I don't know if you guys can see that. 1,405 hours. I don't know if that's visible on the screen there, but yeah. So 1,400 hours. So that is number 4. Great visibility. So the last thing, number 5, that I love about this machine is literally in its name, the compact radius. So I love that this thing can swing practically inside of its tracks. Let me close this engine hood here. Buddha. And yeah, we'll get that later. But yeah, the compact radius is super cool. I mean, this thing, literally, the counterweight just goes even with the tracks. So if you can fit in there, you can rotate in there, which is really super nice. Okay, that concludes the 5 things I hate and the 5 things I love. So now let's get on to other things. A couple of bonus things here. Let's not make this video too long because I know you guys are bored of me talking. So 1,400 hours. These are the original tracks. So they got 1,400 hours on them. I mean, they are peeling. I don't know if you guys can see, there is cordage in there, and the centers are broken out, and I mean, they are doing, oh God, these chickens. Jeez. Okay, yeah, but the tracks are pretty well almost gone. I mean, once these pads get even with this ridge right here, then I'll definitely have to change them because of traction issues. So the other thing is I have a couple of splits here and there that I'm really keeping a close eye on. I do have an extra set in the shop. So yeah, the tracks, I mean, geez, you can see on previous videos on the things I go over with these tracks. Pretty incredible. The other thing, I don't know if this was a hate so much as just application specific, Caterpillar buckets. These general purpose buckets on these Caterpillar machines were a little on the weak side. So I actually had to modify this bucket here. And as you can see, right here is where I actually cut out the original steel all the way down. I also added nice 1/2 inch thick steel plate. I think this is like 3 or 4 inch or something like that. Forget right now. But yeah, so I welded it on the bottom so to prevent rubbing here and here, and provide strength to this part where this is, you know, very famous for, you know, ripping out when I rip rock. As you can see, I actually welded plate all the way back there. You guys can see where I cut it out. So the whole bottom is just super thick. This is double thick. And I mean, God, I added 100 pounds of metal to this. We got brand new teeth on here right now. That's why you can still see a little bit of yellow paint. But yeah, the hard facing, I had to do that too, just to, you know, prevent excessive wear. But yeah, I tried to make a cool medieval pattern just for shits and grins. And also on the thumb. So what I decided to do is put a little ridges of hard face on every little tooth here. I don't know if you call those ridges, serrations. But I also wanted hard facing here because I see these teeth, they do, you know, get dull. I wanted to keep the tips as much as possible, just for, you know, goodness sake. But also, the other thing I did was, I don't know if you guys can tell in the video, but this one's kind of like a little whoop. I actually bent the crap out of this tooth once. I mean, really bent the crap out of it. It was kind of sticking off like that. So this was the factory crossbar, little tube. As you can see, it bent here. What I did is I just put a, you know, a little 4-inch channel across once I bent it back, and I mean, you can see how it's dented up, but oh man, I grabbed some rocks with this thing. And also the other thing is these bolts, sometimes they keep breaking. These guys right here to keep the pins in. Who knows? Also, the reason I have oil there is because I just had a leak, a little seal blowout right from up there because I hit a tree branch, bent this down, and then made this flat seal just blow out. So yeah, there's a couple little upgrades here. Welded this fun little hook. Still works pretty darn good. I mean, I shoved that through rock and it still springs back. We're really tightened on their shackle. There's not too much impact damage. But yeah, I put that on pretty much day one. Everything else is doing okay. Yeah, I'll let you guys know if there's any other things that happen to this thing if you guys are interested. But yeah, I think from now on, I think you guys got everything that I pretty much had with this thing. Oh, I did tint this thing myself. As you can probably tell, I did a really crappy job. But yeah, I think a tint is a must on this thing. I don't know if you guys can see little space here, light, whatever. But yeah, so, oh, little crab spider egg sac. They're everywhere. But that concludes pretty much my video. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Please like, comment, and subscribe. As usual, aloha.